I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Bob Kulhan. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Well, it is a wonderful and beautiful night, and I am well. How are you, Angel?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that tremendously. Bob, please do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
Well, I am a Chicago-trained improviser and originally an Illinois guy who moved to Brooklyn, New York in 2009, and now I reside in Montclair, New Jersey.
And which of your talents that you've been operating in is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Improvisation. For the last 23 years, I have been performing improvisation in America and around the world when invited. And then the last 18 of those 23 years, I've been extracting the tenets of improvisation as they would be used to produce the outcome of comedy and have been redirecting them to businesses and business people, specifically through the behavioral sciences.
Ooh, sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Ooh, I could definitely do a dance here. So, all right, so who did you learn these skills from?
Well, I was fortunate in my timing of learning improvisation. I learned the skills of improvisation literally from the people who created the current incarnation of improvisation here in America. I learned from Del Close, and my mentor co-created the Second City Training Center, and this was a great man named Martin DeMott.
Intriguing.
And then I learned from so many other great teachers as well.
There's your book, right? That's pretty intriguing. Even the design of what you've written here, right? With getting to yes and business improv. Could you open that up a bit for me? Tell us what you do there.
Sure. In getting to yes and the art of business improv, I show how to take the tenets of improvisation, as mentioned, as would be directed toward comedy, and then redirect them to business. And we're focusing on everything from communication to adaptive problem solving, from creativity on a personal level to an interpersonal level to ultimately a group level, and then, of course, leadership and influence. And I underpin all of this through behavioral psychology and cognitive psychology, social psychology, organizational theory, and behavioral economics. So in a nutshell, I focus on how and why we make decisions in real time and then use the tenets of improvisation as a vehicle to teach business people and really anybody who wants to learn improvisation how to use improv.
You're definitely going through some stuff, right? To be able to do what you've done, meaning the ton of work you've studied, the ton of work you've experienced. I'd like to know why you'll continue doing what you're doing, Bob.
I love what I do. I love improv. Improv is skin and blood and passion and everything that makes the world fantastic. That's improvisation to me. And it's really an honor and a privilege to continue to get to speak the words of those who have passed away. Both of those two names that I mentioned before passed away in the late 90s and early 2000s, and they can no longer use this language to teach people. So I have the honor and responsibility to teach people how to use improvisation as a way to help them help themselves.
That's good. That's good. Now, where's the best place for us to go to connect with you, Bob?
You can, of course, go to businessimprov.com. You could buy the book Getting to Yes And. You can follow me at Kulhan, of course, at Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And Bob Kulhan, Kulhan is Kulhan. Yeah, so Bob Kulhan. Well, Bob, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Consistently over the last 3 years, I've really focused in improvisation, linking it to leadership and working with high-level executives across a number of different industries to really put improvisation in high-stakes situations and then show the return on investment of using the tenets of improv. So really creating something tangible around something that could otherwise be deemed intangible.
How does that make you feel?
Fantastic.
Oh,
And most importantly, the people I work with feel fantastic as well, because this is an art form that can benefit everybody across the globe.
why would you suggest to someone then that they do what you've done, not specifically improv, but specifically the fact that you've really expanded what you've learned?
Well, because if you study improvisation, what you'll learn is that improvisers have to be present and in the moment at a very high level. And this is something that a lot of people around the world struggle with, especially with technology being the way it is and how we're trained to be short attention span individuals. And if you can develop the skill set of slowing the brain down to really understand what's happening in the moment and celebrate it at its highest level and engage the people around you and take care of the people around you at a high level, it can not only benefit other people, it's going to make you a better person as well.
That's intriguing. Hey, I have a sideline question. Knowing that you've done all you've done, I'd like to know, and listening, you said you listened to the podcast in our pre-conversation and you were intrigued by it. Is it improv? And to what ratio would you say what I do is improv versus insight?
That's a great question. I think it takes insight to do improvisation at a high level. So I think that there's actually a blend. So insight, at least in the way that I'm interpreting it, is a level of awareness and knowledge that you have to have access to in order to just simply react and adapt and communicate in the moment at a high level. So I would say they go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, that's intriguing. Love that. Well, amazing audience, we are live with Bob Kulhan again. He is the author of, he is doing so many things, but he is the author of Getting to Yes and, right? Now, when I said business of improv, you said the art of business improv, right? So it's Getting to Yes and the art of business improv. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
There we go. All right, so check that out, amazing audience. Like, I love blue and I love yellow, but I know my wife would say that is not blue. She would say it's some other thing that I don't know the name of, right? Which is like, it's like there's pink, but no, there's fuchsia pink, but hey, it's blue and it's yellow, right? And it's pretty intriguing what he's doing here. Well, Bob, let's switch gears for a moment. Now let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Bob, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I think my earliest childhood memories would be wrestling with my father, at a very early age, where I would just kind of run at him and bounce off of him and try to tackle him to the best of my ability. And of course, yeah, he was like a human jungle gym, He's just a human set of monkey bars that I'm climbing on.
How tall was he?
5'11".
Yeah. So he must have been a stocky guy, right?
Yes, yeah. He was a Greco-Roman wrestler, so
Wow.
he actually knew what he was doing. And I, at 3 or so, was just enjoying playing with my dad.
Interesting. So why do you think this memory is so clear, Bob?
Well, I mean, it's pulling on nostalgia, it's pulling on emotion, it's my family, and my mom's there as well in this picture, so would be making a nice dinner, so it just has that warm feeling of comfort and belonging.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
I love the idea of the improvisation that a wrestler has to take on and the speed at which he or she does it.
Oh,
it's amazing to me that you were doing that, learning that from him at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
Even the legacy aspect of what you were talking about. You said, hey, I've been taught this, and those that have died, I feel as though it's my mission, if you would, to carry it on. And it's intriguing that your father was actually helping you learn that level of improvisation.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
Wow. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And it's funny that you asked that. That would be 6th grade for me, and I can remember not only buying the 45, as it was my first purchase of any music on my own. I remember writing the words out, word by word, letter by letter, and then memorizing it. So when I went back to class, I'd be able to essentially sing it to my classmates.
Yeah. It shows the value, like I love to connect things. It shows the value though of an improviser, right? Even what you spoke about with improv, when I asked you the question, hey, is it improv or is it insight? And you just went on to say, hey, I think it's a mix of the both, because you need to have some level of knowledge to be able to really go back, right? Just like with you learning the music, and then when you went back to the class, you were. It's really fascinating that you were operating in that type of dot, if you would.
I think most of us do, right? You learn a base of whatever it is, including podcasts for that nature. You get comfortable with it. You find your voice in it, and you develop the ability to go off script when needed and take advantage of those unexpected gifts that are brought to you by your team, in this case, the person with whom you're speaking. So, we feed off of each other at an early age, develop a skill set that's based in training and knowledge and education, and then put ourselves in the position to adapt to the unexpected when it's provided to us.
Yeah. There's a new term I got having podcasts. It's a boomerang. The boomerang comes back even better, right?
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Well, Bob, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Are you ready? We're going to move pretty quickly here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bob, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I've passed them on to as many people as I can, as I'm a teacher.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Do you have children?
I do. I have 2 children, a little boy and a little girl.
Congratulations. Do you believe in God?
I believe in God. I am challenged by organized religion.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Definitely. I watch TV every day, but not more than 3 hours a week, or a day, rather.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It depends on what I'm doing. I would say on average, it's probably close to 5 hours a day.
All right. Bob, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook, the name of it being called Yours, which stands for Your Own Unique Real Self, with the idea being, hey, you answer these questions and you do the reflection, the self-reflection, and then hopefully you identify your mission, which I term your own unique real statement. I'd like to know, Bob, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Bob Kulhan, what would you say that is?
You have to use what you got to get what you want.
Love it. Bob, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, amazing audience. If you have the opportunity, go watch live theater, watch live improv, and certainly roll the dice and take some improv classes. It's all good stuff. And come visit me on Twitter if you like.
Love it. Bob Kulhan, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Angel, thanks for having me. It's been great.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.